So was Aegon the Conqueror a good king or not? I guess it all depends on what you believe his true motivation was for conquering all of these kingdoms and bringing them under Targaryen rule. If he did that just purely for ambition, then that is problematic. But if he did it because he genuinely believed that this realm needed to be united, one solid, united front to go against the long night that is coming, it's not ideal, but I can kind of see why he did it. It's like, it's for the greater good. I don't think anybody would like it if, a dragon lord swooped in and was like, I'm taking over. But in fairness to Aegon the Conqueror, it's not like he arrived and was totally changing everything about Westeros. This new dynasty of House Targaryen, it was not that revolutionary. Aegon allowed each region to keep their own customs and their own laws as they had before. It's not like he came in and was like, okay, we're doing everything differently, what I say goes, and these are the new rules and everyone has to follow. He didn't come in as like a dictator. Given that he was the first king of the whole realm, with the exception of Dawn, I think Aegon the Conqueror did fairly decent. The realm was at peace for the most part, only Dawn was like the stickler. I don't think day-to-day life changed all that much after the conquest. It's just now that there is a king who is going to be in charge of everyone, and that king has the final say on matters. I do think, near the end of his reign, Aegon kind of took his eye off the ball. King's Landing was getting bigger and bigger and grimier and grimier. I think he could have been a bit more on the ball about upping the infrastructure and getting clean water and just making living conditions a bit better, not just in King's Landing, but throughout the realm. He could have been better, but I don't think he was a bad king. The million-dollar question is, why did he do it? Why did he launch the conquest? Was it purely for power and glory and control? Did he want this for himself, for his own personal ego? Did he do it for his house to restore them because they'd had this fall from grace, but they managed to survive and they had dragons? Or was there a deeper reason where he had a vision or a dream and he became aware of the long night and that this is going to be the real battle? I'd like to think that he launched the conquest not just for ambitious reasons. That would be I think I would give Aegon the Conqueror a solid 7.5 out of 10. He didn't really give people much choice in the matter. It was okay, I'm here and this is going to be what we're doing. I wouldn't like it if somebody came to my land and was like, I'm taking over. But he wasn't a horrible king. He wasn't cruel. He wasn't a savage, bloodthirsty king. And he wasn't making brand new rules that everyone had to follow. There were a few new rules, but nothing outrageous. I also do think if we're going to give credit to Aegon the Conqueror, we should also give some credit to Rhaenys and in particular Visenya, because they held it down when Aegon was not in King's Landing. Half the time he was either on Dragonstone or he was somewhere else in the realm. This is why I say Westeros having a queen would not have been all that revolutionary either. They had queens in all but name. Visenya and Rhaenys would sit on the Iron Throne and they would dispense the king's justice and they would see to matters and they would organise things and, they would just run the ship in his absence. So having a queen would not have been all that crazy either. It wouldn't have been all that new. A lot of pearl clutching over nothing, if you ask me. But as much as I am here for the Targaryens and I think, okay, they weren't that bad. They weren't as dreadful as they could have been, coming in and having dragons. They could have leveraged that even more. They did use their dragons as leverage, but it wasn't as much or as evil as it could have been. They could have gone way further. Imagine if House Greyjoy had dragons. Imagine that they would make everyone's lives hell. But the fact that the Targaryens had dragons at all and everyone else didn't, it's not a fair playing field. I wouldn't really like it if I lived in Westeros and this happened. It just leaves a sour taste in your mouth. But at the same time, as a conquering family with these dragons, they could have been a lot worse. I'm just saying. But I do just hope that Aegon did it for a greater reason than power alone.